And Dr. Campbell, as the last question I would like to ask, if you were going to give an advice to someone heading or towards leadership or management or in the area of leadership, what advice would you offer for leaders of the future?
That's a complicated question, but I think at the end of the day, my advice to leaders would be to take your responsibility seriously. I think the worst thing that you can do is to lead somebody astray, lead somebody in the wrong direction. So as a leader, at the end of the day, you just can't lead people to do wrong, lead people to do the wrong thing. So the most important thing to do if you're going to lead people is you need to figure out what's the right thing. Because if you're going to lead people in the right direction, you have to know what the right direction is. Mm-hmm. And you have to know what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. And it's not that hard, but you have to get a couple things straight. If every time there's a decision to be made, you're trying to figure out what's the right thing to do or what's the wrong thing to do, you're going to have a problem because it's difficult to make those decisions when you're trying to figure those things out. The right way to do that is to come to the conclusion that you have to accomplish your purpose. And to accomplish your purpose in doing it the right way is the right thing to do. And if you're a leader, that's what your ultimate goal is. In order for a person to accomplish their purpose, for instance, in life, you've got to know what you're supposed to be doing in life. For me, it's very clear. I was created by God. Since I have a creator, the creator created me for a purpose. As soon as I can determine what that purpose is, then I can go about accomplishing that. If you never understand what your purpose is, then you can't ever hit the mark. If you don't understand that I was created and that the Creator has a purpose for me, then you can never get the purpose right. So ultimately speaking, God determined what's right and what's wrong. So since God is one who determines what's right and what's wrong, not me, it's easy for me. I just need to figure out what God wants me to do or what God said. Then I can always do the right thing because the right thing is based on what God said. And He's made it very clear what He wants and what's right and what's wrong. If I was trying to figure out everything based on my own mental ability or my own thought, that would be very difficult to determine what's right, what's wrong all the time. So my advice to a leader would be, make sure you understand how you can always lead people to do the right thing. In order to do that, you need to determine what's right and what's wrong. Since God created us, since God is the one who determined what's right and what's wrong, you can't be right unless you're doing what He said was right. It's irrelevant what I think. What's relevant is what He thinks. Because I've got that straight, it's easy for me to determine what the right thing is. My advice to any leader is to never lead anybody in the wrong direction. Never lead anybody to do the wrong thing. In order to lead people to do the right thing, you have to understand God's already determined and it's made it very clear what's right and what's wrong. And you always need to do what God said to do, not what we think to do, but what He said to do. And that makes it easy.
Awesome. I want to thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr.
My
Campbell.
pleasure. Anytime.
Thank you.